Are you tired of waiting for your code to pretty print, only to find out it takes forever? You're not alone. Today, we're diving into how to integrate pretty printing into your Bazel builds effectively. I completely understand your frustration. Having a pretty print script that runs on every file, regardless of whether it changed, can be a real time waster. Many developers face similar challenges, and it's important to find a smarter solution. Let's take a closer look at your specific situation. You mentioned that your current pretty print script has some major shortcomings, like processing enormous files and running on unchanged files. Sound familiar? Let's explore how we can improve this. So, what are the key issues here? You want to ensure that pretty printing only happens when necessary and that it doesn't slow down your build process. This is a common goal among developers who want efficiency in their workflow. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid strategy for integrating pretty printing into your Bazel builds, and I promise it will save you time and headaches. To begin integrating pretty printing into Bazel, the user should first create a dummy target. This target will handle the formatting of source files using Clang format. Next, the user should create an aggregated formatted target. This target will collect all the formatted files for a specific library or executable. After that, the user needs to ensure that their library or executable targets depend on the aggregated formatted target. This will enforce the pretty printing step before the build. Finally, the user should test the setup to ensure that pretty printing only occurs for modified files. They can do this by making changes to a source file and running the build. Fun fact, did you know that the first version of Clang format was released in 2012? It has come a long way since then, helping developers keep their code clean and readable. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by a user involves using Bazel's aspects. They recommend writing a macro for the CC library rule. This macro would first lint the sources, then pretty print them, and finally create a new library target with the formatted files. To implement this, replace every CC library with clean CC library. Note that lint sources and pretty print sources are custom rules that you will need to create to handle the file processing. Let's move forward and look at another answer. An alternative approach suggested by a user involves using Bazel's aspects functionality. This method allows you to create a general linting system without modifying your build files. The process consists of two main steps. First, a Bazel build step that acts as a pure function, taking a linter and source files to produce a list of linted sources. Then, a Bazel run step applies these changes back to your source code to fix any lint errors. Here's a pro tip. Regularly review your formatting rules and update them as your project evolves. This will keep your code base clean and maintainable over time. And there you have it. By implementing these strategies, your Bazel builds will be more efficient and you'll save time on unnecessary pretty printing. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks.